My name's Frederick Phillips. I'm from Oak Hill originally. I was born in Oak Hill in 1953, which makes me 63, I believe. And I was brought up in Stoke-On-Trent in my childhood. I was always good at art when I was a child. I always liked to be the idea of doing paintings and stuff like that. But in those days in Stoke-On-Trent, it was very heavy industrial base here, industrial, kind of operation. So ideas of being an artist was sort of abstract, really. I can remember Burslem when I was studying there at art college in the early 1970s was a thriving town. It was so full of people, you literally almost had to queue to get into Burslem and queue to get back out again. It was just really buzzing, and because of all the potteries there and the industry, the factories. After working at Royal Dalton's for a little while as a figurine painter, I eventually moved. I met my wife Patricia, who's from London. She was living locally and we met locally, and we moved to London together. Within a year or two of being in London, I found an agent to sell my work. He remained my agent for several years, and it was thanks to him I ended up in Chicago. It's like Chicago found me rather than I found Chicago, if you know what I mean. There were several reasons we moved back from Chicago. The contract had ended and my mother was not very well. My wife and I are partners in more ways than marital. We are also business partners too. I would make the paintings and my wife, Patricia, would do all of the business negotiations.
We've been together for 36 years, so I'm quite involved, to put it mildly, in his artwork. It's a good life. It's been a good life. Wouldn't change anything. I'm very privileged to have spent the last 36 years with such a talented gentleman.
My wife, at the beginning of this year, found on social media that the Spode studios had been developed actually in the interim by Akava, and we came here and we were one of the first people to take a studio here.
I heard about the Spode Studios, I think it was about this time last year, so November 2015. I thought it was a really, really good thing for the city, and it always occurred to me, like, why aren't these beautiful old factories being renovated into studio spaces or apartments or something? It's a great space, albeit a bit cold this time of year. So the City of Culture bid for 2021 is kind of nationwide UK-based competition, and Stoke is competing to be the winning city for 2021. It was decided that the city was going to go for it, I think, very late last year, in an aid to bring more and more people here to kind of show what is actually around, that there is culture here, there is reasons to live here, to work here, to visit here.
In America, people say, where are you from? And say Staffordshire, and they'd instantly know. Wedgwood, they'd tell you, Wedgwood, Royal Dalton, they knew all the names, they knew it all. Stoke's regeneration, you could say, is part of Britain's regeneration as a whole, as a holistic thing. This should be a really exciting project because we're going to open it up to Stoke. Stoke will become, this will be pedestrianised and opened up into as a part of Stoke, so people will be able to walk through Stoke and straight through into this site as well. Projects like this at Spode will spearhead a revival and a renaissance, a revival of that, regeneration of that spirit of creativity in this area. That's one of my most fervent wishes.